Hey there, it is Trick from Tricky Notes. It's been a little bit since I last posted. I posted a video in June, fully intending to make this a regular thing, and life got a hold of me and kind of changed my mind. But lately I've been seeing a lot of videos online of people talking about the 5 records in their collection that they would never sell. And I thought that'd be a really fun thing to kind of come back to you with and kind of show you 5 of my records I would never sell. Now, I have a lot more that I will never sell, but these are just 5 that, when I thought about this, that these are the ones that came to mind immediately. Now, that being said, some of these I'm never going to sell because I could never replace them. They're too valuable or too rare, something like that. But some of these are just sentimental. That's about all I can say about it. So there we go. So let's go ahead and kick this off. The first is Michael Jackson's History. This is the original 1995 release. It actually is the one that has the incorrect lyrics that were changed on They Don't Care About Us, if you remember that controversy. Beautifully boxed. It's got 3 records in it. Really beautiful piece. Each record has 10 songs, 5 songs each. Has a beautiful booklet. It's pretty much the enlarged version of the CD booklet. Just fantastic artwork. Just beautiful release. It is the most valuable piece in my collection. Records all are identical. And these nice, beautiful sleeves. If you don't remember Michael Jackson's History, it was a combination greatest hits and new album. So if you got the CD version, one disc was the greatest hits and the other was the new album. And this one, 1.5 records are the greatest hits and 1.5 are the new album. This currently sells in near mint condition like mine for about $500 on the secondary market. If you get a mint copy, it's usually about $1,000. But even very good copies, you're talking $250, $300. So very, very hard to find because vinyl wasn't a thing in 95. Nobody was really buying vinyl. And how I got a hold of this, there was actually an online friend I had that we used to talk music a lot. And one day he asked for my address and he just sent me some additions to my collection, and this was one of them. And it was really very sweet of him, and I really love having this in my collection. The next one, it's another valuable piece. Not as valuable, but it is Madonna's Live to Tell, the UK import. Now this typically sells, believe it or not, for about $70. That's the average. Some go for, in better condition would go for more. Mine's in pretty good condition. It's not like mint or anything. And there's nothing really special about the track listing. It's literally Live to Tell, the single version, an edit, and then the instrumental. Not really anything special. What makes this release so valuable is this right here. It came with a personality poster. Now the UK releases used to do this with quite a few. So it came with a nice poster that mirrors the album, the 12-inch artwork. So that's why this goes for so much, especially when it's complete with the personality poster. But love having this in my collection. It's one of my favorite Madonna pieces that I have. Of course, the song is classic itself. The next one is Angie Stone's Wish I Didn't Miss You. Now, this is a 12-inch retail version of the single. This is the dance mixes that I used to hear in the clubs. First time I heard this in the club, I fell in love with the song. It's just, the mix is just one of those perfect dance floor pieces, especially when you're in a melancholy mood. It's just so good. So good. This typically goes for about around $50. And, in a good condition, or near mint condition, I guess you could say. But I just love it. I love this. I also have a promo version with mixes of it as well, but this is the first one I got of the 12-inch, so I have a little bit more nostalgia for this one and having it in my collection. All right, the next one, the Pirate movie soundtrack. Now, you may have never heard of this movie. It was a box office bomb in like 82. But as a kid, I absolutely loved this movie. And my parents had the cassette version of this soundtrack that I wore out. I loved it so much. It is not a good movie. It is camp gold. It is so stupid. The jokes, yeah. But what really wins it over is Kristen McNichol is just so charming. She's just a light. I love her. And I do love camp. And that's what this is. The music, some of the songs are 80s lyrical updates to Gilbert and Sullivan songs from The Pirate of Penzance. If that really confused you, it should, because it does not make any sense. But the rest of the songs on here are pretty much 80s, early 80s pop, and then randomly a Kool and the Gang song. It's got a Kool and the Gang song called Stand Up and Sing. It's really good. Other songs on here I absolutely love. Pumping and Blowing. I know it won the Razzie for Worst Song of the Year, but that song is so camp. And the scene in the movie is like literally with animated fish, and it's bad, but it's so good. How Can I Live Without Her? I used to sing all the time as a kid. Loved that song. First Love, and then of course Happy Ending, which is the theme song. There's two versions of Happy Ending. One that was done by the cast, and another is done by someone called the Peter Couples Band, which I never heard of anything, but I love this record so much. Last time I checked, this is not on streaming anywhere, so it's not like you can just pull this up and find it. I have digitized it so I can listen to it on the go, because I have a USB turntable and I actually physically recorded a lot of my records. But yeah, this is one that I will never sell. This is too important to me. And it goes for about $20. It's not like a valuable record or anything, but for those that do know it, they want to have a copy, and I'm glad to have a nice copy. It is a gatefold, so we've got some nice artwork from the movie, and just pretty much, regular records. I did talk about on a previous podcast, when I was doing the podcast, about how this will probably never be on streaming because of rights issues. So if you want to go back and find that podcast and listen to it, I may redo that as a YouTube video at some point. Now, this next one is my favorite record in my collection, bar none. I love owning this so much. And it's Dance with Dolly. Just look at that cover. It's just pure Dolly. Just gotta love her. This was a release to DJs. It was a promo thing. But back in 1978, to promote her Heartbreaker album, one of the a couple of singles were "Baby I'm Burning" and "I Want to Fall in Love." So they decided to do disco remixes of them. So this is disco remixes of "Baby I'm Burning" and "I Want to Fall in Love." The "I Want to Fall in Love" is pretty much just an extended version with more horns. Great, wonderful, love it. But the version of "Baby I'm Burning" adds all kinds of like electronic, like keyboard flares and like keyboard explosions. It's so campy and stupid and makes no sense. But it's wonderful at the same time. Believe it or not, though, this is actually on streaming. You can find Dance with Dolly on Apple Music. I don't know about any other platforms because I mainly use Apple Music myself. But it's there. You can go listen to it right now. And I would recommend going to listen to it. They're good songs. The originals and the remixes. I have a soft spot. I Want to Fall in Love. It has probably my favorite Dolly couplet of all time. She says, I'm undone, so come and do me. I mean, pure poetry. Just absolutely love having this in my collection. Now, did I mention that it was also printed on pink vinyl? It's just absolutely, like, look at that. Just absolutely wonderful. 1978. She was looking out for the gays even then. And in fact, I'm going to give you an honorable mention here. She kind of like inspired Reba McEntire. And Reba did dance mixes of her cover of "You Keep Me Hanging On" back in '96. They were done by Love to Infinity. They're great dance house mixes, but it was also done on pink vinyl. So, but that's another one of my favorites in the collection. The fact that Reba doing that. I mean, look, you can't. Come on, she had to take inspiration from Dolly's release. I mean, come on, it's too uncanny. So anyway, those are my 5+1 that I will never sell. These are too important for me in my collection, and I love having them and love having a lot of my collection. I think my collection is up to over 6,500 pieces now between records, CDs, and cassettes. So yeah, I've got a few pieces. So and I love sharing them and talking about them. So if you like this, I'm definitely going to do more. So can't say when the next one's going to be, but I plan on trying to get this up and running, get this more consistent. So be patient with me as I do that. I'm still figuring out the whole YouTube thing and making that happen. So y'all have a great night, or whenever you're watching this. I'm recording it at night, so there you go. And I send you much love, and until we meet again. Bye.